Most people think thinking small is bad. We always hear we should think big. I've even said it more often than I can count. But what if thinking small is the path to getting what you want? And what if thinking small contains ingredients that put you along the path to rising in just the way you'd like? Let's talk about it. My name is André Taylor, and I'm an advisor to those who are seeking to rise to their best and their highest in their personal and professional lives. Now, you may not realize it, but you are thinking small. I know this because even those who think big are thinking smaller than they should. What are you thinking small about? Your capabilities, your potential, your financial opportunity, what you offer and how you offer it, your relationships, your clients, you name it. You are thinking small about your present and your future. And you're thinking small about your past. That's because inevitably we think that thinking within a certain realm is justifiable. Now, there's nothing wrong with thinking small if it gives you an understanding of small things, details you should know and you should care about. Often it's small things that can give you a better life, a bigger life, and a better experience. It can also be quite important to think small when it comes to your profession or your business. Now, I'm not saying small in the sense of what you can accomplish, but small in the sense that you understand the practical desires and opportunities and issues in whatever you're dealing with, particularly your customers and clients. Sometimes we're just not thinking small enough. In the luxury category, for example, where I do lots of work, luxury brands are having a reset. That's because for a long time, they have not thought small enough, detailed enough about the practical issues and practical desires of their customers and clients. In luxury, the leadership thinks big. They think big about the number of stores. They think big about the financial opportunity. They think big about the number of customers. They think big about their geographic footprint and their impact. But increasingly, luxury must return to understanding the small desires, the small motivations of its client. While we think of luxury as something for the elite, it is actually a category that has been driven largely by aspiration. When you're thinking about aspiration, you're thinking about the small, quiet motivations of someone who's looking to rise in life. Luxury is one of those markets where we have to stop thinking about audiences and crowds and numbers and really think about the individual. What does the individual want? And how do we serve that individual? And what are their concerns? And what are their issues? We have to get away from a mindset of, hello, everybody, to how about you and I talk? Let me say, for example, my first foray into luxury was looking at prestige seating in arenas and stadiums for sporting events and entertainment events. I was becoming aware of the extras that were provided for preferred fans and clients and the sponsors who were so interested in serving those clients. I began to see the conversations that were taking place between the inner circle, the sports entity, and the high-paying clients who really wanted to be served at a different level. Now, I want you to consider what I'm saying. We're really talking here about small conversations, intimate conversations, direct conversations, which requires you to think about what you do in a very different way. When I opened my consultancy, I decided that I wanted to go deeper into this area. I had to think small. One of the first things I did was drive over to the luxury mall in my neighborhood and walk into the stores, the brands, to see what was happening at an intimate level. What kind of conversations were client advisors having? What kind of reaction existed amongst clients? And what could I understand at that ground level about luxury? And what I could provide that would differentiate my services from others? It was this small ground level approach that opened opportunities for me. As I was doing this, I was thinking about those small merchants that have now developed as luxury brands and how they were focused on serving clients one by one. They probably had no idea how many clients worldwide would enjoy their designs and products in their name. They were just trying to make exceptional products for those who could appreciate the best. Now you do reach a point where you must begin to think bigger. That is when you do not want thinking small to be a hindrance to your bigger possibilities. So consider your ambition. What is it that you want in your life? What is it you want in your profession? What is it you want in your business? Now, what is it that makes you believe that what you want is all there is for you? What makes you think that what you want is not small and that you can't go beyond that small level to something bigger? The issue is, how do you start by thinking small, understanding detail, understanding nuance, understanding the practical concerns and motivations of the clients and the individuals that you serve, and then how do you go beyond that to think about something much bigger? In other words, you want to start small, considering the issues at hand, and then you want to enlarge your vision. Many people underplay and underestimate what they can do in their lives and in their businesses. Some are afraid of reaching too high. Others just never consider elevating what they're doing. They stay small. However, it's a good idea to ask yourself in whatever you do, whether you are thinking too small or have been thinking small too long, and whether you're ready to go from small to significant. I don't know about you, but there's been a pattern in my life. Whenever I believe I'm thinking big, I meet someone or experience someone or am exposed to someone who's thinking much bigger. Now, I don't want you to catch the common disease that exists today, which is a disease of comparison. But there's a lot we can learn by observing what others are doing. Sometimes we can see by observing others that we are intentionally setting limits on our lives and businesses. Now, I want you to know that this is not the time to set limits on your life or your business. In fact, I think this is a time of one of the greatest or several of the greatest opportunities that have existed in a long time. It is an entrepreneurial economy. It is an economy that's driven by content and intellectual property and media. It is an economy that has now been impacted by AI, and we're just beginning. And every business is going to have to be reshaped in that context. So this is not the time to think small, at least small for too long. I want you to think small so that you can understand what you can bring to the marketplace, what you uniquely bring, and what your clients uniquely bring. I want you to think small when it comes to considering relationships and how to make those better, even at the smallest level. I want you to think small when you're considering the impact you might be able to have by doing something that seems small that can be big to others. But then I want you to enlarge your vision, and I want you to think bigger. Now take a look at this video.